Doctor. Ratio just got nerfed badly, so let's talk about it. HP 1048. ATK 699 to 776. Def 461. Speed 106 to 103. Taunt 75. LV 10. Intellectual Midwifery. Triggers talent effect one time. Every debuff the target has additionally triggers the talent once, up to a max of 4 times. Then, deals imaginary DMG worth 150% of Doctor. Ratios ATK to the target. LV 10. Intellectual Midwifery. Deals imaginary DMG equal to 150% of Doctor. Ratios ATK to a single enemy. LV 10. Syllogistic Paradox. Deals imaginary DMG equal to 240% of Doctor. Ratios ATK to a single enemy target and applies Wiseman's Folly. When other teammates attack a target affected by Wiseman's Folly, Doctor. Ratio has a 30% fixed chance to launch a follow-up attack against this target due to his talent. Wiseman's Folly can be triggered up to 2 times. After Doctor. Ratio uses his ultimate, the trigger count for the follow-up attack is refreshed. Wiseman's Folly only affects the most recent target of Doctor. Ratio's ultimate. LV 10. Syllogistic Paradox. Deals imaginary DMG equal to 240% of Doctor. Ratios ATK to a single enemy target and applies Wiseman's Folly. When Doctor. Ratio's allies attack targets afflicted with Wiseman's Folly, Doctor. Ratio launches his talent's follow-up attack once against this target. Wiseman's Folly can be triggered up to 2 times and only affects the most recent target of Doctor. Ratio's ultimate. After using Doctor. Ratio's ultimate, the trigger count resets. LV 10. Cogito, ergo sum. Randomly gain 1 out of the following 5 buffs. After Doctor. Ratio launches an attack that did not defeat the targeted enemy. Launch a follow-up attack against the target. If the target is defeated by the original attack, launch a follow-up attack on a random enemy target instead. Both versions of the follow-up attack deals imaginary DMG equal to 320% of Doctor. Ratios ATK. This effect can only be triggered once per Doctor. Ratios attack. Increases Doctor Ratios ATK by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. Increases Doctor Ratios crit rate by 4%, stacking up to 3 times. Increases Doctor Ratios crit DMG by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. Increases Doctor Ratios SPD by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. Buff effects last for 3 turns. LV 10. Cogito, ergo sum. When using his skill, Doctor. Ratio has a 40% fixed chance of launching follow-up attack against his target 1 time, dealing imaginary DMG equal to 270% of Doctor. Ratios ATK. For each debuff the target enemy has, the fixed chance of launching follow-up attack increases by 20%. If the target enemy is defeated before the follow-up attack triggers, the follow-up attack is launched on a random single enemy. Summation. When Doctor. Ratio's teammates attack a target affected by Wiseman's Folly, the trigger rate of his talent's follow-up attack increases by 8% for every debuff on the target, up to a maximum of 40%. Summation. When Doctor. Ratio uses his skill, for every debuff on the target, his crit rate increases by 2.5% and crit DMG by 5%. This effect can stack up to 6 times. Deduction. When Doctor. Ratio is on the field, all allies deals 10% more DMG to debuffed enemies. Deduction. When dealing DMG to a target that has 3 or more debuffs, for each debuff the target has, the DMG dealt by Doctor. Ratio to this target increases by 10%, up to a maximum increase of 50%. C1. The Calamity of Arrogance. Gains buffs equal to that provided by the talent at the start of battle. Receive 2 stacks for each type of buff. The talent's buff stacks increase by 2 stacks, and increases its duration by 1 turns. Pride comes before a fall. The maximum stackable count for the trace, summation, increases by 4. When a battle begins, immediately obtains 4 stacks of summation. Needs to unlock summation first. C4. With ignorance comes folly. Each time Doctor. Ratio receives a buff from using his skill, he gains 3 additional energy. Ignorance is blight. When triggering, the talent additionally regenerates 15 energy for Doctor Ratio. C6. The Truth Eternal increases the trigger effect for Wiseman's Folly by 1. The DMG dealt by the Talent's follow-up attack triggered by Wiseman's Folly increases by 50%. Vincit Omnia Veritas increases the trigger count for Wiseman's Folly by 1. The DMG dealt by the Talent's follow-up attack increases by 50%.